Just loading up here. Let me see. I have got to stop cutting my own hair. And let me see. I'm just going to stream ups card. Give a. Oh, hey. Hey, Sleepy Reader. How's it going? I was just about to tweet out, and then I forgot how I do that. Because it's been such a long time since I've done this. What's going on? Let me see here. And bam. Should be a way for me to tweet it out. Oh, thank you. I'm just looking for just the URL, but I don't see how I do that, so maybe I just have to go. I can't remember. I used to be good at this. Come on, Amy. You can do this. Oh, there we go. Okay. I think I found it. I think I found the issue here. There it is. Ba-bam. You're making your way through your last hour of work. Oh, man. So what time is it there? Are you in... you're on the East Coast? Like, I think you're an hour behind me on the East Coast. There, I tweeted it. Got that done. Hey, Comic Crack, how are you doing? West Coast. Oh, you're so in a different time zone than I am. For some reason, I kept thinking you were actually, like, just more south of me. But yeah, you're on the totally opposite coast. Oh, it's so much warmer over there. I'm so jealous. It's freezing here. Comic Crack, you're also in your last hour of work. Oh. Well, hope I can make it more interesting for you while you're there. I don't know. I was just going to talk about some comics that I've been reading because I haven't had time to actually record a video. I was actually just at this networking event, and it was really, really boring. And people were kind of like, you know, a networking event where you talk about your business and stuff, and people were just like, so you do cartoons? And I'm just like, I'm just like getting slowly more angry. Anyway. Hi, Tat. How are you? Trying not to like go out of my green screen. I've got like this really weird little window, if you can see here. So I'm still working on this, learning how to use the green screen thing, clearly. Oh, what I've been reading lately? Okay, cool. That's what I want to talk about. Oh, wrapping Christmas presents, chat. Nice. Well, I just got this, but I haven't got to read it yet. And of course, my green screen's gonna make it awkward to read. But it's the volume 21 of Dorohedoro, which of course is my favorite manga. And I love how they keep getting bigger. Each issue has been bigger than the last. So this is, I think, the largest one so far. And it is totally my favorite current running manga. I guess you could also say Berserk is in there, but he's so damn slow at putting out new volumes that I feel like I can't say that it's current anymore. Anyway, I just finished reading all of Animosity, by the way. My friend gave me Animosity Volume 1. Of course, you can't see this either, but gave me Volume 1 for Christmas. And then the Aftershock people gave me the rest of it to read. So I read all of it. And I'm going to do a huge video just on Animosity alone because I think it deserves an entire video dedicated to like the whole series so far. And I really, really love it. It's great. Hey, Rebel Comics. Thanks for joining us. I actually got an older heavy metal magazine, 286, also from my friend for Christmas, which is one that I missed. And it's the one that has both Gearhart's latest work in it. If you remember Gearhart, he did the backgrounds for Cerebus. And I interviewed him this summer. And anyways, he did this. He's actually illustrating this whole serialized story by Grant Morrison in Heavy Metal Magazine. So I just didn't have this copy because I had to like unsubscribe from Heavy Metal for a while because I was just really poor. So I was really excited to get this. This also includes John Bivens' story too. I can't even remember what it's called right now. Little Eddie, I think it is. This should tell me right here. Was it called Little Eddie? Yeah, I'll show it to you, and you'll just know if you follow John Bivens, you'll be like, oh yeah, of course. So of course the green screen is gonna make that difficult. Yeah, of course. I'm still working on this green screen stuff. Okay, people. You find it hard to dive into heavy metal, but it seems it keeps... If I keep at it, I'll start following the ongoing stories. Yeah, heavy metal kind of... It's better since Grant Morrison has taken over, but, like, I swear to God there have been serialized stories that have just not finished. So sometimes they'll publish the beginning of a story, and then the end will just never get published and make it into another issue of Heavy Metal Magazine, and it drives me insane because then you're like, well, how do I get the rest of the story? But that seems to have stopped. It's just not consistent. So the beginning of one story, you won't have the next piece necessarily in the next issue. So like 286, I don't think Gearhart's continuation of this story is in 287. I think it comes later down the line, and it's still ongoing. He's still working on it right now. So it's gotten a little bit better, but yeah. Oh, Tat, you gotta go. Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by. You have a good Christmas. I can't stand wrapping presents. I'm just going to say that. I'm a total Scrooge, and I do not like wrapping presents. Sleepy Reader says that explains some of my confusion with the HM heavy metal. Yeah, it's irritating, but it's gotten a lot better. I mean, I don't know if you remember how bad it was even in the mid 2000s, like 2010, 2011. I'm thinking that's probably when it was really particularly bad, and they weren't producing, they were basically putting out 4 issues a year, I think it was. Yeah, every 3 months they were putting out an issue or something. I can't quite remember, but something like that. That was particularly bad. So anyway, we're not there anymore thanks to Grant Morrison, but yeah, it still can be a little bit irritating. But they are doing their own floppies now, which is really nice. So I'm really enjoying that. So Yes, John Bivens, his book 1984 is being serialized by Heavy Metal Magazine as their own floppies, and so is it's actually finished now, but it was why can't I remember what it was called? Oh, good Lord, we did an interview about it over a year ago. I can't remember. I'm overtired. Anyway. So what else am I reading? Oh, I just finished reading this, which I've never read in its entirety. I've only read pieces of. It's called Pussy. It's Daniel Clowes. Of course, the green screen makes it rather difficult to see, but it was really insanely good. But I've only read pieces of it in 8-Ball because that's how it was serialized back in the late 80s, early 90s. I think it wrapped up in 94, and Fantagraphics collected it in this tiny little volume in 95, I think. Anyways, it was really good. It's basically social commentary on everything that's happened to the comic book industry leading up from the very beginning. It's a satire, but it's like deeply critical of a lot of early Marvel people. Let's just say like people like Stan Lee. Yeah, very deeply critical and of how these early comic book companies took advantage of their pencilers and their writers, and people were taking credit for other people's work, and page rates were just unbelievably low, and nobody was getting any actual sales. No one was making any money off the actual sales. They were just like sitting there, just workhorses. I mean, we all know this if you know anything about like the history of comics. Anyways, so there's a lot of kind of satire about that, calling out a lot of people, and like there's like kind of caricatures of people, of course, because it's Daniel Clowes, and he's like pretty directly making fun of people. Actually, if you watch the IT Crowd, this is funny. At the very end of the IT Crowd, the last episode, what's her name? Jen, the woman in charge of the IT department, she's sitting down reading Pussy, actually. So it was really funny. And it's called Pussy because it's based on this, it follows the career of this one penciler and inker called Daniel Pussy. That's his name. So you get to kind of see how he grew up, and it's kind of this like this the story you would expect. You know, he's a loser in school, and then he starts working for this comic book company, and then he starts actually making money, and he's like famous, and he's going to Comic-Cons in like the late 80s and the early 90s, and then he gets shoved out because he's just not the flavor of the month anymore. And it even goes so far into the future to show him like in a funeral home and stuff. So yeah, it's really different, and because it's one of the ones that was serialized, it's probably been kind of skipped over by a lot of people. Like if you didn't read 8-Ball, you probably didn't read Pussy, and just depending on how much 8-Ball you had actually read, and even I've not read all of the 8-Ball. I have bits and pieces of it and collected stories and that kind of thing. But I mean, it was serialized during a time when I was very, very young. So, sorry, I'm still sick, so I'm still constantly blowing my nose and being nasally and snuffy. That's why my nose is all red. Anyway, but I really liked Pussy, so and now I just like saying it. So anyway, that one I definitely recommend reading. There's lots of other great 8-Ball things. Comic Crack says, I just saw a new edition of Velvet Glove Cast in Iron. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I haven't read that in a long time. Oh, when did I read that? I remember borrowing that from the library like a decade ago or something. I don't know. It was such a long time ago. I have no idea when I got that. But that sounds good. Yeah, a new edition. I'd like to see what it looks like. I haven't even read all of Art School Confidential, I don't think, which was also serialized in 8-Ball. I've read all of Ghost World, but Art School Confidential I've only read bits and pieces of in different issues of 8 Ball, I believe. So I've never actually read the entire thing, but I've always wanted to. That's one that's on my list to grab. But I also haven't yet read Wilson. Of course, that's one of his more recent stories that got turned into a movie. And I haven't read Patience yet, and I really, really want to. I think still my 2 favorites by Daniel Close, though, of all the things he's read. Although I really liked Pussy because it was very, very funny. And, you know, it's being so hypercritical of the comic book industry. I really liked Raygun, and I really liked Caricatures. Caricatures had like a collection of short stories, essentially. And there was a couple in there that were just deeply disturbing, and I really, really liked them. So I would definitely always recommend people read those 2, Caricatures and Raygun. So, what else did I read recently? Because I've been sick, I've actually just been plowing through books. So, and series. Oh, I read all of Shade the Changing Girl last week or the week before last. I can't remember when I read it. A week or 2 ago. And it's not bad. It's definitely not making my top 10 list of series for this year. It's just it's really linear compared to Shade the Changing Man. I don't know if any of you guys have read Shade the Changing Man. I love Shade the Changing Man. Shade the Changing. Yeah, anyways. Peter Milligan knows how much I love him, so I don't, and most people know that too, so I don't really have to go on about it, but this is an incredibly linear kind of story, and it's written mostly for kids. I mean, it's on young animals as well, so it's really accessible, and I just don't know what the point was of kind of using the branding. Honestly, they could have called it anything else and it would have been fine. So I don't really understand why they wanted to brand it this way. I guess just to grab attention from the people who really loved Shade Changing Man, but yeah, anyway, that's how I feel about it. Comic Crack says, hell yes, I have one of my all-time favorite series. You're still far behind on Shade. Shade the Changing Girl, you mean you're behind on? Or oh, hi Seth. Have I ever read The Celestial Bibendum? No, I have not. What is The Celestial Bibendum and who's it by? It's not ringing a bell. Is it a manga or a graphic novel or a comic series? Hey Soma Hobbies, how you doing? Have you read any Misbegotten Runaway Nun? No, I haven't, but that is such a good title. I want to look that one up. I'm looking that one up. The Celestial Bibendum is from Humanoids. Oh, okay. No, I haven't read that one. Let me just look it up right now. Boom, boom. Sometimes if I see the, oh, gosh, yeah, no, I remember this one. He's by the same person that did Foligato. That one I read. That was really, really great. So I would probably really like the Celestial Bibendum then because, yeah, Foligato was, like, really intense and crazy, and I really liked that one. So that was the same guy. Yeah, I can definitely see how it's surreal because that's what like Foligato was like as well. And I believe that same artist he's also worked with I think he's worked with Jodorowsky, and I think that's why I started reading his other books, if I'm not mistaken. Soma Hobbies, I got issue 1. The title was kind of misleading, and the nun had an incredibly small role. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, Seth, definitely check out Foligato. Let me just check the spelling, because I always... Foligato. Here it is, Folly Gatto. That's how it's spelled. There, I just put it in the live stream because I was just like, yeah, I'm probably butchering how I'm supposed to say it. So anyways, pronunciation bad over here. List my favorite humanoids titles. My favorite humanoids titles. Oh my god, there's so many. Let me go back here. Okay, I'm gonna have to say the Inkle, of course. After the Inkle, definitely the Sword of Glass. Have you read the Sword of Glass? If you haven't, you have to read the Sword of Glass. Even if you don't like the storyline, which I don't know why you wouldn't. The artwork alone, it's amazing. The artist has won a bunch of awards. Her name is Laura Zuckery. I've interviewed her, so there's an interview with her on my website, thefrogqueen.com. If you put it in the search, put her name in, or put Sword of Glass in, it'll pop up. Yeah, I love Sword of Glass. That one's awesome. What else did I really like? I'm just trying to think. Oh, I really liked, what was it called? I always say it wrong every time, so I'm just trying to look up the actual name because it has a really long name. It was the predecessor to Azuna. I liked Azuna, but before Azuna, it was called Legend of the Scarlet Blades. Legend of the Scarlet Blades. That one was really great. Oh, hey, Jean Paul. How you doing? So Legend of the Scarlet Blades is really great. Definitely check that one out if you haven't. And then Azuna is kind of like the sequel, but not really. But it's in the same universe, I guess, is how you would explain it. And it's really beautiful. Really beautiful. Oh, and if you want something that's really gut-wrenching from humanoids, then read, oh god, what was it called? Let me just look it up really quickly because, and it hurt me. Like, just reading it hurt me. The Balance, what was it called? Balance. Oh, Arena. It came up for a second in my search. The Balkan Arena. That's what it's called. Balkan Arena. Well, let me just... I'll see if the chat will let me actually post. Oh, if it would only just... Anyways, it's called the Balkan Arena. That one was really amazing. The Inkle is the reason you want to write comic books. I think the Inkle is the reason that's like everybody wants to write comic books, honestly. Anybody who's like really big into European comics is like obviously like huge fan of the Inkle. I don't know anyone who'd be like, ooh, I hated the Inkle. Like, who says that? I'm sure there's some idiot out there who has that opinion, but you know, they're not my friend, so I'm horrible. I'm still sick, so I'm really cranky and like, bah, had this stupid meeting and anyway. Yeah, what else did I finish reading this week? Oh, last night I just read the first issue of Justin Jordan's new Aftershock book. It's called Backways. Backways. It's Backways. I'll just spell it out because it's just easier. Backways #1 from Aftershock. So that's Justin Jordan's new series, and it was pretty good. It was really short, much shorter than I'm used to for Aftershock comics. Like, I find they're really long, but there's a really good preview for an upcoming one in February called Cold War that is a sci-fi that looks really cool. The artwork's really cool. The storyline's kind of like, some people get cryo-frozen, and then they wake up in the future, and they're also, although they're supposed to have this like luxurious lifestyle, they end up being drafted into war immediately after being awoken from cryostasis. And they're all like, but this isn't what I signed up for. And the country's just like, well, sorry, we're at war and we need you, so we woke you up early and now you have to go fight for us. And like they're just like average people that suddenly get drafted in the future. So it's a kind of a cool concept, but it's also like, I don't know, the whole cryostasis thing. Some of like the scripting was just like, oh, here's the hero guy. Come on, everybody, let's fight. This is what we have to do. And then everybody else is kind of complaining, and it was just like, really, is this? I hope this hero guy dies and isn't the center of the story. But other than that, there was really, really good artwork in it. So it's called Cold War. Comes out in February from Aftershock, and it looks pretty cool. But yeah, Backways is a total paranormal fantasy series from Justin Jordan. So he's really into the fantasy right now. I don't know if anybody's been really reading Family Trade, which is out on Image, but that's another one of his series. Also a female, main character's female in both of those series, which is just interesting. Although Family Trade is fantasy, it's also very much about mobsters and stuff like that, and assassins and stuff. I don't really go so much for the assassin kind of story unless it's like Lazarus, for instance, but it's okay. I like it so far, and we'll see where it goes. The artwork is cool. I really like the artwork. Where am I behind in the comments? Sorry, I was trying to keep up with your comments while talking too much, as usual. What was I talking about? Justin Jordan's new books. Oh, I finally got to finish reading Farrell's latest installation of Chain Letter, or of Pop Gun War. If you haven't read any of Farrell Dalrymple's books, you really should. He's so good. So this one came out a while ago, and I picked it up a while ago, and it somehow got buried under my massive pile of trade paperbacks that was just growing out of control. So anyways, I did get to finish that while I was sick too, so that was great. He's currently working on the third installment of that series, which why can't I remember what it's called? It's referenced in here, but in this, because it's very sci-fi, this one's much more sci-fi than fantasy. They go to his place called Proxima. Gosh, what's it called? Proxima. Oh, Lord. Well, you know, I just can't remember. And it's like, anyways, it's like a different planet. And of course, it's just, I swear to God, it said right here. Anyway, they go to this planet. The focus of the next story arc is all about this crazy futuristic planet. So, anyway. Art Doc Hound, hi. I have been submitting my comics works, but the rejections letters are a real bummer. Any tips for feeling better? Oh, submitting them where? How are you submitting them? I'm curious. Submissions, if they're not handled properly, sometimes you just get an immediate rejection because they didn't like the way you submitted something. I'm assuming you're talking about publishers, right? Let me know. And Kar M. Mac, I cannot read. I'm assuming that's Russian. I cannot read that. Art Doc. Email mostly. Okay. Are your submissions just artwork, or are they full comics? Like, and how many pages? Is it a full story? Like, how have you been submitting it? Or is it just like pieces, samples of like artwork? Or please tell me it's not just a script. But yeah, I'm actually, so the business that I'm starting right now, and which is why I'm so busy, is basically helping creators handle their incredibly time-consuming tasks that keep them from actually doing like the actual creating, the actual drawing, the actual writing. So all the social media stuff and all the marketing stuff and dealing with the publishers and the contractual stuff. So, but I also am doing other services, so like consultations for new creators who are trying to get published, as well as like editing services, as well as hooking writers and connecting writers and artists with each other, which can be really hard. Like a lot of times people will, they're like, I wrote this script and I want to find an artist to do it, but I can't. And a lot of the times is like they just can't find the right artist. They can't find the person they want that's willing to do it, that sort of thing, or they just don't know where to look, that sort of stuff. So I'm connecting artists and writers, both established and not established, and that sort of thing. Seth says, I have trouble writing endings for my scripts. Well, I would suggest if you're a writer and you want to get something published, you want to get something, just make a comic. So just find an artist. If you can't find an artist, you can always contact me. I have the services, but just find an artist, find somebody who wants to work with you, create 8 to 10 pages and get it out there. Publish it and start flying it all over the internet, start putting it, start throwing it in publishers' faces, that sort of thing. Because endings and stuff like that, that's always going to be something that can come later down the road, especially if you're looking at writing serialized comics, right? Those things change, those things develop, and especially if it's something that gets picked up and editors, they'll tell you if they don't like your ending, So my suggestion is always just get the hook, like get the first 8 to 10 pages done, have something to show, because what's the point in writing an entire script that could be forever long and you don't even know if someone's going to draw the first 8 pages, right? So that's the main thing there. Soma hobbies. I have trouble not sucking at drawing. I have trouble with that too. And Mr. Hush says I have trouble not writing smut. Yeah, I also have trouble with that. Can I link some of my art? You can see some of my art if you go through my Instagram account, which is just, there's a link on my channel, but I think it's just _frog_queen is my Instagram account. And if you scroll down, there's various like drawings, like a bit of inking. I think there's like some random Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman and just some random crap, and generally I draw like more life stuff, but I draw a lot of animals and stuff, but I've been trying to just make myself draw more cartoony. I haven't posted any artwork on anything in a while, but if you scroll down through my Instagram, you can find some stuff that I've drawn. And you can tell me it sucks. I don't care. Feel free. I don't draw enough. I'm constantly working right now on my business, so I don't get enough drawing done, and I really should be. Soma hobbies. I pretty much just draw naked people. Yeah, on my Instagram, you'll find a lot of smut. I draw a lot of BDSM and fetish stuff, and sometimes I draw straight up porn because that's just like easy to draw and it's entertaining. So plus, I'm a huge Manara fan. I read a lot of smut. I love Crepex. Like I like a lot of erotic art, so I draw a lot of it too. Seth says, I made a short comic about a tapir squirrel and a koala wombat. I don't know what that is. I have to blow my nose. I'm going to try and mute myself while I do this. there. I'm still really sick. Thanks for stopping by, Soma. Oh my gosh. Ah. Now my nose is like super red and I don't have any makeup to cover it up, so oh well. This is what happens when you're sick. And I have to go to the gym right after this, so that's gonna be fun too, right? Yeah. Real healthy sounding over here. But yeah, I'd love to know what you guys are reading. Of course. Or if you're watching like any good YouTubers lately, because I need to find some more good YouTubers to watch. I pretty much just watched like Mr. Rigamortis, Sleepy Reader 666, Seth, oh gosh, what's his name? Oh my god, I am so terrible at remembering people's names. What is wrong with me? Why can't I remember people's names? Oh, I watched Boogie and iDubbbz. But yeah, anyway. Live nose blowing action. I know. Actually, did you know that nose blowing is apparently a fetish, and you can look it up on YouTube, and there's like a whole bunch of creepy ass videos of women blowing their noses. Yeah, my brain is especially terrible at names, and I can always remember a face, but a name I find particularly hard. Kyle Rowe, that's who I was going to say. I watched Kyle. Oh my god, it came to me now. I think I'm just overtired, and I did have like 2 cups of coffee when I was at that meet and greet networking thing, so I should be fine, but apparently I'm not. Comics Explained. Oh, I didn't really, I kind of watch that sometimes, but then sometimes I kind of don't like that channel. Bovin, if you're sick, the gym is not a good idea. Oh, I've been going the last couple days, because I wasn't able to go for like 2 weeks. I don't know why my bangs look so crooked. They're actually not, but they look really crooked right now, so whatever. Anyway. Yeah, so I started going back to the gym just a couple days ago because it's been 2 freaking weeks and I can't not go, and it's just been too long and I needed to go, and it's actually like forcing my body to like heal faster, I think. So Sleepy Reader says, "Wow, I've learned about a new fetish today." I'm not even kidding you. You can look it up on YouTube. It's not pretty, but it's a real fetish. I don't know why. Seth, you got a bunch of new comics. Descender. Oh, there's a new Descender hardcover coming out, by the way. And I'm wondering what I should read list. Distant Worlds, Drifter. I didn't really like Drifter very much. Ghost in the Shell is, Legend of Scarlet Braids. Phonogram. I hated that book. I actually wrote a scathing review about that book when it came out. If you go on my website, you can read it, where I just complain about it. I have a copy of it, and then I was like, who can I give this to? And then I'm like, I wouldn't wish this book on my enemy, so I still have a copy because I haven't given it to anyone because I don't know who to give it to. And it was given to me. The Ring of the Seven Worlds. Oh, The Ring of the Seven Worlds. Check out my video, Seth, on that, because I spotted the giant penis picture. There's a hidden penis in one of the panels, and that's one of my favorite things to do. is look for the hidden phallic or, in some cases, vagina shaped things in backgrounds of panels. So there's a good one. There's a good one in the Ring of Seven Worlds, which is actually intended for children, by the way. I don't know Throne of Ice. The White Llama is really, really amazing. I really liked the White Llama. I hated the Wicked and the Divine, and I really liked Witches. Witches was good. Witches is being turned into a television show, apparently. But yeah, that's my take on all the things that that's my quick take on all the things that you mentioned. And I've covered the Wicked and Divine and Witches and White Llama, and I think Wayward quite extensively on my channel. But yeah, that's my fiance coming home, and he's probably gonna try and jump into my live stream wearing his silly hat. No, he says he's not. Okay. He doesn't want to meet YouTube? You don't want to meet people on YouTube?
There's too many people.
He says there's too many people. Well, I gotta go anyways because I have to head to the gym. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I'm sorry I don't get to do live streams more often, but I hope I can try more in the future. And I hopefully will have a new video review out in a day or two. Other than that, have a great night and a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. Whatever is more appropriate to say. I don't know. I don't really like Christmas anyway. All right. See ya.